Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do a messages from the other side reading. Nolan Wells, 18-year-old teenager that went missing on the 4th of July. He went out to the lake with his friends. He was from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. They all went to Horn Island, and he was later found deceased 2 days later. And we're just here to get some clues, some answers, to see if we could get any kind of answers of what happened to Nolan Wells. I'm not a psychic, I'm an intuitive reader. This is my perspective. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I want to send my condolences to his family, his friends, his loved ones. First, let's just get the overall spirit, the overall energy, that Nolan was in when he first went missing. What's the overall energy from spirit to spirit to spirit that Nolan was in when he was on that Horn Island? What's the overall energy from spirit to spirit to spirit? From spirit to spirit to spirit. Timing card. Prepare for change. A few months. Term plans. Express gratitude. Harvest fall. It's like Nolan was in the energy. He was preparing for change. He was making long-term plans. He was grateful for this harvest that was coming in for him, which probably was concerning his moving on to college, this new chapter of his life. That's the energy he was in. I feel like that's all Nolan's mind was on at the time when he went missing. Okay, let's get one more card. One more energy card from spirit through spirit to spirit. Please give us what we need to know. 7 of Swords. Not what it seems. Cowardly, false pretenses, carrying things away, sneaky, betrayal, getting away, self-interest, cheating, lying, mask. And someone was around Nolan that was had false pretenses, sneaky, somebody betrayed him. I don't know. It was definitely somebody around him that was wearing a mask, that wasn't looking out for Nolan's best interest. I feel like this is someone that was pretending like they was a friend of Nolan that had his best interest at heart, and they really didn't. Okay, let's get one more energy card. From spirit to spirit to spirit. What else do we need to know about Nolan and the energy that was around him that day? What was going on? From spirit to spirit to spirit. From spirit to spirit to spirit. From spirit to... 2 cards came out, so we're gonna take them. Magician. Resourceful creator, willpower, influence, master manifester, inspired action, concentration, resourceful, intellect. And this is Nolan's energy. High Priestess. Subconscious mind. Bridge between words. Divine feminine. Sacred wisdom. Inner knowing. Diving deep. Higher self. Mysteries. And I feel like Nolan, at some point, he had this intuition before all of this even happened. I feel like at the onset of things going wrong, Nolan was a magician, a high priestess, a all-knowing. Knowing had a special gift from the divine. That's why he loved people so much, because it was his calling. And before things even happened, he seen what was going on. He had an inner knowing about what was getting ready to happen. That something bad was going to happen to him. Okay, let's pull from let's just try to... What else? What else there? A leg up. We're going to read what that means. That's number 34. We're going to look at the protection message of it. $34. Protection message. Are you always insisting on doing everything yourself? Do you have little faith that help will come? Convinced that the burden of the world is doomed to remain on your shoulders. Your beliefs about going it alone need to be discarded, as they do not serve you at all. Let others help you. Yes, it will make you feel vulnerable to admit you need helping hand, but to be vulnerable is good for you. You have a lesson to learn. You must let someone else assist. You can't do life all by yourself. Once you shift your expectations, you will be amazed at how quickly help arrives to give you a leg up. And I feel like before all this, whatever went down, Nolan knew that he was in danger with these people. And he could have called someone and tried to get help, but he thought he could handle it himself. That he could talk this person down. I don't know what made me want to say that. But somebody was very enraged with Nolan, and he thought he could handle it. Because I feel like this person had snapped on Nolan before, so it wasn't nothing new. And when it happened that time, I'm getting it. It has happened more than once. That he was able to talk this person down. But this time, he needed help. And he didn't want to get help. I feel like when he saw his friend, he could have told his friend what was going on. I feel like it was already tension when Nolan reached the island. Whatever tension happened, it started before the trip even began. Okay, what other messages do you have? Okay. Grounding. Number 18. Let's find that. Okay, we pull grounding. I feel like Nolan is someone that was very connected to the earth, to nature. People that know him knew this. Like, he loved to be outside. He loved to be in nature. Nolan was a very spiritual person. I don't know if I feel like the people that knew him knew that about him. But he was a very spiritual person. Let's get some clues from... We're going to pull from my messages from the other side. We got the overall gist of what's going on here. Nolan was in the midst of someone that was vengeful towards him. He thought he could handle it because this person has acted this way and had this vitriol towards him before. But he thought he could handle it. Instead of calling for help, instead of going and leaving with some other people, he felt like he could talk to this person or be nice enough to settle them down like he has done in the past. This is my deck messages from the other side. I created this deck. You can find it over on Etsy. Let's get some messages to see if there are any clues that will come through for what happened to Nolan. Because that's what we're trying to find. From Spirit to Spirit to Spirit. What messages do you have for Nolan Wells? From Spirit through Spirit to Spirit. What messages do you have for Nolan Wells? From Spirit through Spirit to Spirit. Fake death. So however, they're saying that Nolan passed away is fake. The drowning that's what I'm getting, that's a fake. Oh, I'm not going to take those. That's a fake death. It's not the real way that Nolan died. But we all know that because it's not. But this is just confirmation of it. What else? What else is going on with Nolan? From Spirit through Spirit to Spirit. What else do you want? Okay. Drugs and drinking. Spirit is saying drugs and drinking was involved in this situation. What else? Lies. And everybody, all of the friends and the parents of these other boys, they're lying. I'm feeling like there could have been drugs and drinking going on. I don't know. We're going to just pull some more cards. Let's cleanse the energy a little bit. Okay. Calling on Nolan ancestors and guys. Please give the messages that and the answers that are needed. From spirit through spirit to spirit. Stranger. Check my neighbor. I don't know what that's about. Those are the cards that came out. From spirit to family tree. And it's something about Nolan's family tree that caused him to be in this energy that he was always in, of being the problem solver, the peacemaker. I'm serious. From spirit to spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. Jealous heart. And somebody had a jealous heart. This person that was angry at Nolan, that I said had shown this kind of attitude towards Nolan before. Like, it was times where he would feel jealousy towards what Nolan had going on. And drugs and drinking were involved. But I'm not sure if Nolan did drugs voluntarily. It could have been as simple as something as Nolan had a bad reaction to these drugs. I feel like it's something that Nolan had done before. But this time, I feel like soon as Nolan, or maybe he overdosed and they panicked and threw his body in the ocean like he drowned. Instead of telling his parents what was going on. Husband. And the husband, of one of these boys that was out here with him, the dad, knows what happened. Maybe he's the one that supplied these teens with the alcohol and the drugs. That's why they want to hide this. Because it's some grown-ass people that's going down the lake. I be damned. I'm feeling like the husband, the father of one of these boys, or this could have just been the husband of one of these boys' mother, is the one that took Nolan's body back out there. I don't know why I said that. Or the one that came up with putting Nolan's body in this water. Instead of going back, taking Nolan back, telling his family what happened to him. Okay, let's get some. Spirit is telling me to pull one more card that is going to be very important. So I'm going to listen. From spirit to spirit to spirit. Lost. And that's what they was telling us. that Nolan was lost. But those were lies. They really put Nolan in the lake. And there's a stranger to this situation that saw what happened. Maybe it's a neighbor of some of these boys that was a stranger to Nolan and his family. Maybe even a stranger to these people, but it was their neighbor. Someone saw what happened, things that was happening. And I feel like it's someone that's going to come forward and speak on it. Okay, let's pull from my T deck. I don't know why Spirit keeps leading me to pull a few cards from this deck for clues. But listen, I don't want to offend anyone. Nolan was a good kid. We all do crazy things. We all are influenced by the people that we want to like us and love us, that we're trying to bring together. I don't know if Nolan voluntarily did these drugs or drinking, but something caused Nolan to have a reaction. And these people panicked and threw Nolan in the lake instead of trying to get Nolan help. Or bringing Nolan back to land and telling people what happened. Because somebody, the husband in this situation, a father, a husband of one of these kids. What else? What messages do you want? Peacock. Beware of great pride. And I feel like Nolan had too much pride to call and tell people that he was in trouble, that he didn't feel right, that something was going down. This person that was angry with Nolan could have put a lethal dose of something in Nolan's drink. Something happened. What else? But it had something to do with those drugs and stuff. Teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. And I feel like there was an inappropriate relationship. Maybe a male-on-male relationship between Nolan and one of these boys. And that's what the tension was about. I'm not sure. And maybe that's why this person would always get mad with Nolan. Because they had something deeper than a surface level friendship going on. I'll just leave that at that. What else? And that's why, because this was a secret. Vase. Secret admirer. Boom. Didn't I just say that? This was a secret. Maybe this boy had feelings for Nolan. I don't know but I feel like deeper friendship with someone of the same sex. I feel like this was a male-on-male. These boys had deeper feelings than a friendship. Or this person was admired Nolan and wanted to have, and something triggered them that Nolan was doing. But it's the same person that will always get mad with Nolan. And that day it went too far. And this person could have been, oh Lord, I don't waste all the card. This person could have been high and just made a crazy choice to do something wicked to Nolan. Because they had all of these feelings for Nolan. And it was a secret. I don't know if these other boys knew about it. But it was, I'm sorry y'all, I'm picking up my cards that fell. We're going to get one more T message. But this whole ordeal is over. This whole ordeal is over jealous heart. Someone was jealous of something that Nolan was doing. A same-sex person that had feelings for Nolan. And the argument was about that. And somehow with this drugs and drinking, that's what put Nolan, something with the drugs and drinking. And it took Nolan's life. I don't want to make shit up. I'm just saying what I know. This is my perspective. I hope I haven't offended anyone. But that's just what it is. Let's get a last message from Nolan. Let's get a last message from Nolan. A message from the other side. That he would want to leave the world, his family, his friends. What else is going on with Nolan? What else is going on with Nolan? Okay, first spirit, first spirit, first spirit. What does Nolan want to say? First spirit, okay. Nolan wants his family to know, I was met by so many loving people. And I feel like Nolan wants to send this message to his family to say, I know that you all are hurting, but I was met by so many loving people on the other side, and I'm okay. And Nolan wants his family to keep. Nolan wants to say, I know you might be disappointed in me when the truth comes out, but I just want you to know that I'm okay. Let's get one last message from Spirit, from Spirit, from Spirit. One more message. I watch over you every day. And this is the message I feel like Nolan wants to send his family. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I want to send my condolences to Nolan's family, friends, and loved one. This is just my perspective. I'm not a psychic. And I hope this video didn't offend anyone. And it was all done in an effort to get clues to see what really happened to Nolan Wells. Peace.